last Wednesday, I myself, in my personal capacity, went to a seminar that was being held in Holyrood in the Parliament, because every August they have what they call the Festival of Politics. And the Festival of Politics is every day they'll have several seminars, and there'll be a panel up the front of so-called experts, and there'll be a chairman who's likely to be an MSP, and the experts talk for 10 minutes each, and then it gets opened up for questions. And I noticed there was a very interesting one that was on, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to get a ticket to that. It was called Making Amends for Empire. Has Scotland done enough? So straight away, that title kind of really rubbed me up the wrong way, because I'm like, well, that's talk about a loaded question. You've already given us the answer. Obviously, Scotland's not done enough. And that seemed to be the prevailing theme from the panel, that more was needed and that we all hadn't done enough, whatever enough was meant to be. Anyway, it's an interesting enough event, and I went along to hear what the so-called experts had to say, and they were all of a type, as you can imagine, right? There wasn't any Alistair McConnachie types on the panel. But I did get the mic at the end of the day, and I did point out the event was conflating the matter of slavery with the British Empire, when these are actually two different things. They're certainly connected, and you can't disconnect them. But we can all agree that slavery is wrong from today's modern perspective. But from today's modern perspective, we can't necessarily agree that the British Empire was wrong. And those were the exact words that I said. And I said that it's not appropriate to conflate slavery with the British Empire, with colonialism, with imperialism, because while it was colonialism that arguably enslaved people, it was also colonialism that freed them. So you can't conflate the two things. There's obviously good elements of colonialism. There's obviously good elements of the British Empire. There's obviously good elements of imperialism. I don't know if that point, I think the point was understood. I don't think it was agreed with as far as I could see from the panel, but at least that point was made. And what I also found interesting was that one of the panelists there was from an organization called Glasgow organization, another one of these civil society orgs called the Campaign for Racial Equality and Rights. And as far as I could see, they had what's called partnered with the Scottish Parliament to put this on. I don't know what that would involve, partnering with the Scottish Parliament to put it on. But I said to the Parliament in my feedback that our organisation, A Force for Good, would be very happy to partner with Holyrood at a future Festival of Politics to put on a seminar that could look at issues like this, but from perhaps a different perspective, from a pro-empire perspective, or at least not from a perspective which is knocking the concept of the empire. So I'm going to persist with that, because I'd really like to put that on. And I know people who would rise up and be panelists for that as well. So that could be a really interesting project, whether it's for next year or the year after, or maybe we're going to have to wait until reform candidates get into the Parliament, in order that we've got voices in the Parliament who may be favourably inclined to host such a meeting or to chair such a meeting. I don't know, but I'm going to persist with this idea that A Force for Good could partner with Holyrood in order to put on a seminar at the Festival of Politics in future.